You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey GH fans, Belinda from Soap Dirt here, and the mystery keeps deepening about the mob shooter when we really should have closed the chapter on this dragging plot months back. Let's remember, it started in July of last year. We've had, 10 months of this mess, but with the news that there's an inside man in more than one mob organization, that has me wondering who it is in Sonny's group. Could it be Brick that betrayed Sonny? Be sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. And now let's dive into this mob mess. So everyone's wondering who is the traitor in Sonny Corinthos' band of mobsters, because it definitely was not Dex Heller. Okay, all right, not true. Actually, yes, Dex Heller absolutely was a traitor, but he was not the traitor that Sonny was looking for by any and all means necessary. It was one of those, these are not the droids you're looking for kind of thing. So Sonny hauled Dex out to the Pine Barrens, ready to just shoot him in the face, and I just wonder if Brick, the guy that ratted him out, was pointing fingers at him to cover for his own bad deeds. Could it be that Sonny's trusted tech guy is the one reporting on him to whoever is the one who has the shooter going around? I don't think whoever the boss of this whole escapade is the one actually taking shots. I think there's a higher up, a muckety muck, and then we have maybe more than one shooter, working for him, and then various informants in each of these mob organizations giving them the info so they can send the shooter to take them out. So I doubt Brick would be out there assassinating mob bosses unless he's got some master scheme and he's staging a coup to take over and be the boss of all the organizations, but I just can't see that. And I will say my one caveat about this line of thinking about Brick is that Stephen A. Smith loves being on General Hospital, and him being the rat would mean he has got to go at some point. So I am not sure if Stephen A. Smith or the powers that be at GH would be down for that. However, I do think it's worth exploring this theory because a lot of fans are asking if Brick is the rat. I mean, realistically, a lot like Dex, Brick is basically a blank slate. We don't even know his last name, or if Brick is his last name and Bob is his first name. Is he Bob Brick? We don't know. He seems to be single since he's macking on Jordan Ashford. Either that or he's a cheater. But otherwise, we just know nothing about the guy. So yeah, he could be selling Sonny out for any variety of reasons. Maybe Brick's parents were killed by the mob and he's been biding his time to get revenge on the kind of criminals that took his family, Batman style. Same could be said if he lost his wife or child to organized crime, or if he's like John Wick, maybe a mobster killed his puppy. I mean, it could be Brick himself who has a grudge against the mob, and maybe he took the job with Sonny, always planning to betray him and either take over or destroy his organization. Or, this could all be a financial motive and not some sort of personal vendetta. Like, with Mike and Gladys Corbin, maybe Brick got in over his head with gambling. He needed cash, and then somebody came around offering money in exchange for information, and he rolled over and took it because he couldn't quit gambling. That would be a reasonable plot related to the mob stuff. I will say Brick was pretty quick to throw Dex under the bus, and maybe Brick just lucked out picking Dex at random because he was already hiding secret deposits. I mean, if Brick hadn't found the secret account, he could have just lied to Sonny and said he found one, or he could have created a false trail to implicate Dex, even if he hadn't found any evidence. I also feel like Brick has been kind of shady lately. He threw Dex under the bus super fast. He also, to me, was acting kind of dodgy. I wonder if he might have felt guilty about it because he willingly told Carly Spencer where to find them in the Pine Barrens, and usually you don't talk mob business with a mob wife, much less a mob ex-wife. That's not good for your mob life. So that was very dodgy, I thought. I will say that General Hospital might have given Brick a villainous storyline as a reward. You know, maybe it's some big sweeps, dramatic send-off because Stephen A. Smith doesn't really have time to appear anymore. Or maybe he asked them for a more serious plot and they said, we can do it, but then you can't stay around, you know. Or maybe he'll be revealed as the villainous traitor and then run off before Sonny can do anything about it and kill him, you know. So let's bear in mind, Steve Burton is back March 4th. That's Monday, March 4th. Only, what is that, 6 episodes from now? So maybe he has tied into all this. They have given a little hint about Jason Morgan's return arc. They said his return story will be an umbrella plot, which, in my humble opinion, is the absolute worst kind of plot. If you don't know what it is, think about how an umbrella works. Every spoke on the umbrella would be a different plot, and then they're all tied together. And General Hospital is really the only soap that does these, and it is absolutely exhausting because they struggle to write just one coherent plot. And when they try to write an umbrella plot and have like 5 subplots, everything goes to crap, stuff gets dropped. Just historically, that's my experience with them and their freaking umbrella stories that they think are somehow their calling card when they need to tear up that card and burn it to ash and then blow it away in the wind. No more umbrella stories. Anyway, but we do have a new writing team. Maybe the new writers constructed a plausible umbrella story that could actually tie up all the endless loose ends of storylines that we're stuck with in Port Chuck right now. That would be great. I'd get behind that umbrella story. We've got the mob shooter. We have Austin's murder, the Pawtuck hillbilly mob that Brother Cyrus was running. We had the evil warden who wanted Drew dead. I don't even, was it the warden or was it Cyrus that had Drew beaten in prison? There was never any real explanation or resolution on that. There's the Pipeman thing that they lightly touched on again recently, but not really. We've got Brennan sitting in local jail, even though he's the head of the WSB. None of that makes a lot of sense. So if they could wrap up all of that, plus any other drop plots as part of Jason's comeback, that would be golden. That would be an e-ticket ride. Otherwise, I think Brick is a plausible option as the inside man. He's always around. He's got the ability to eavesdrop, wiretap, and monitor, so he could have set up all sorts of surveillance shenanigans behind Sonny's back to betray him, even with secrets that he didn't find out because he was in the room. In the end, maybe it's Brick. We know it's not Dex, at least not in the way Sonny suspected. Some people think Selena Wu is the mastermind behind all this. I don't know. She said she had a spy in her organization too, but she caught the guy after an attempt on her life and she offered to give the guy to Sonny to interrogate. So because of that, I don't think Selena's the one targeting mob bosses. And if anyone thinks it's brainwashed Jason Morgan behind it, the writers should think twice. Remember, the Cassidines kidnapped his twin, Drew Kane, and brainwashed him because they couldn't brainwash Jason because his brain is so jacked up and scarred from the car accident and multiple follow-up surgeries. So should not be Jason. Doesn't mean they're not going to make it him, but there's lots of reasons that we know he cannot actually be brainwashed. Brick, though, Brick's an option. I don't think for brainwashing. I just think for straight corruption. We will see. Let me know what you think. Could Brick be the one betraying Sonny? If so, would you like to see him exposed and dealt with or to get away with it? Drop your comments and be sure and subscribe and come back every day for more on General Hospital. We are here talking GH 7 days a week. And as always, this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.